Welcome back, my love. This is going to be an insane video about all things feminine energy for dating and relationships. What is your feminine energy and what is it not? Because we have definitely evolved in understanding what feminine energy is. And I know that I even have on my own personal dating experience and understanding that first and foremost, feminine energy has nothing to do with the way that you look, because we think that femininity expresses in a certain way in our society. And that is something that is used to control women. And there will be some maybe similar ways in which women choose to express when they are expressing from their feminine energy, but honestly, everybody has their own way. So we cannot say that feminine energy looks a certain way, even though society wants to say that it's red nails and red lipstick and flowy dresses and all of these things. Those things may feel good to a woman who has a regulated nervous system because she's in her feminine energy, but feminine energy is first and foremost a way that you feel. It is the way that you feel. So, a very feminine aspect is to be connected to your body. So, we see this show up in so many ways. It's that your feminine energy, it's not just like, oh, be more of a woman. It's not that at all. And I will connect it back to the biological sense of being a woman because there is a rhyme and a reason, a purpose for that. But first, we have to take a look at why does our feminine energy become a solution for attracting a man, for, feeling better in relationships, for becoming more authentically yourself. So, in general, I don't want you to think about masculine, feminine as male or female whatsoever. I want you to think about masculine and feminine energy as having energetic qualities. That's it. They're energetic qualities serving two different purposes. And on that note, everybody has masculine and feminine energy. And the idea is to be an integrated human being with both of them working together. That's what inner union is when your masculine and your feminine energy are simultaneously well balanced and working together. Now, it might not be a 50-50 balance, and you'll find out why, but they're both present. And you know when to lean into each one at different times because your body will know. Your body is very wise. So, what happens is why the question then is why are we out of balance? Why do we not have this inner union? And when we don't have this inner union, it's because we grow up learning limitations. We grow up in a masculine society where women are told to suppress their emotions, to look a certain way, to people please. We grow up learning that doing more and achieving more is the way to be rewarded in life, and that working harder, is where you earn your worthiness. So then we take on all these, I would say more so masculine qualities, so much to an extent of like, there's so much doing, and thinking and strategizing and analyzing that it becomes too much to the point where it becomes hyper masculine, overly masculine, and there's not enough feminine energy present to be an integrated human being that has this inner union. And so then we wonder why we have exhaustion or burnout, or why we continue to repeat patterns in dating because we're trying to get the validation of a man. And we wonder, oh, why, I did all the things right, and yet he's still not choosing me. So, what more do I need to do? And there's actually nothing more that we need to do, because actually, then when we come into partnership with a man, when we're taking on our feminine energy, when we do a little bit less than just constantly doing all the things, when we do a little bit less, we create space for the man to come in and feel good about doing tasks along the lines of providing and protection and the things that he feels good doing. And again, I'm going to bring this back to a biological perspective, but first I want you to understand How do we get out of balance here? And it's because of the way that we grow up. Our inner child gets suppressed. We don't express authentically. We're doing more before we think about, oh, is this something that's really in alignment with me? Is this something that really nourishes me and that feels good? Or am I doing this out of obligation? Am I doing this, with a scarcity mindset because I'm worried about, you know, something? And that's the wrong energy to be taking action in. Masculine energy being an action, but we want to be taking aligned action. And so that aligned action has to come from our feminine energy. So let's get into then what feminine energy really is, because I find this so extremely fascinating that for me, first and foremost, when I went through a breakup and I was like, I did all of the things, like I overextended my boundaries. Like I crossed my boundaries. I did all the things to make this man happy, and yet it still wasn't enough. And that was exactly the problem, is that I didn't have the boundaries to really contain and protect. This is my own masculine energy, contain and protect my own feminine energy, my own essence of magnetism. I wasn't caring for myself in that instance. And so then when I left that relationship, I was like, I'm going to start skating. I'm going to start roller skating. And it was so fun. And it was just for pleasure. And it was the first time that I'd really done something in a while because I'd been, working the corporate job and just kind of like doing soul sucking things and just doing things to get external validation, the job, the social life, the car, having the man. And none of it was fulfilling. But once I left this relationship and I kind of started to see things through a new lens, I was like, why did I abandon myself so much to only be left with nothing? And I was like, so now the next step I'm going to take is to really invest in myself in something that is just for fun for me. That I'm going to put myself first for once. And I bought roller skates. And because I'd seen so many women roller skating online, and I was like, that looks like fun. I used to roller skate when I was younger, inner child. And I was like, I want to do that. And it gave me this time and this space that was just for me. It gave me like a little passion project. It gave me pleasure for pleasure's sake. It had no practicality to it. I wasn't trying to achieve a goal. I wasn't trying to do anything. Honestly, it connected me again with my body, with this like fluidity of like, kind of trying something new, kind of like being that baby deer, like getting out there, like stepping on my skates and then finally finding some flow and some movement. And I was like, wow, this is like incredible. Then I started to realize, wow, like pleasure is the answer. I used to call my coaching pleasure coaching because I was like, pleasure in all areas of life. Oh my gosh, we're doing everything because we think we need to or that we should do. We're not doing things that are actually aligned with us, things that actually bring us joy and where we are actually enjoying the process and the journey along the way. And so pleasure is a extremely feminine quality. Again, masculine and feminine, everybody has both, but it is so important for us to find our own alignment through the things that bring us joy and pleasure for pleasure's sake, not for a practicality. So it is also taking that time to rest. Rest can be just as productive because it's giving ourselves time to relax, to stop thinking, to allow new thoughts and downloads to come in rather than just constantly thinking like, okay, I need to figure this thing out. I need to, find the solution. I need to da da da, where, when, how, da da da. All of that is too much from the mind. Again, we want to find this really beautiful integrated balance. And so then I also started to notice as I did some shadow work along the way in my journey that feminine energy is all about feeling. It's about emotion. And then as I continued to be on my journey and I'm feeling these emotions, and all of a sudden I'm like rewiring these emotions and these beliefs because I'm like, wait, I've been triggered because I think that it means this about me, but actually I'm going to make it mean this instead. It was like waking me up to where I had been holding limitations and disempowerment within me, where I was taking things personally that actually had nothing to do with me. This is why feeling your emotions, feeling the triggers, and understanding how to translate those triggers into power versus disempowerment versus, taking, is feeling stuck in this like shame or this guilt or whatever it is. instead of feeling that, instead of shying away, we then give that energy, that emotion, new meaning. This is exactly the work that I do with women because it's so important to reprogram how those emotions show up in our body, in our subconscious mind, and how we feel them in our nervous system. So then I was recognizing, okay, like feminine energy is all about the emotions. It's about our body. Something I loved for so long that I still love is that Joe Dispenza says the subconscious mind lives in the body. And it's so true because the subconscious mind is the feminine part of our mind that takes the orders from our conscious mind, which our conscious mind would be more masculine. It's that active thinking. The subconscious mind is in the background, but actually running the show. And we know that we attract based on our subconscious mind. I can say, oh, yeah, I want, an emotionally available man, and I want this and that, and I want, whatever certain type of man. But if my subconscious mind doesn't believe that I'm worthy and deserving of that, and if my body doesn't feel safe receiving that type of love because I'm used to chaos or people pleasing or some other, relational pattern being anxious, anxious attachment. If I'm used to those things, I'm going to reject a relationship or love that feels foreign to me, even though it's safe. Like I'm going to say, oh, this is foreign, this isn't safe, when really a safe, emotionally intelligent man is what I want, but it feels not like what I'm used to. And so the thing is that we have a norm in our nervous system that we're used to. And if you're used to chaos and anxiousness, well, that feels normal to you. That feels exciting to you. This is where the difference of, the sparks and the butterflies versus like the slow burn comes in. It's like the sparks and the butterflies are actually saying, like this isn't, if that's not excitement, that's actually like, this is not what we want. But we've interpreted it as, oh, I'm feeling something, but it's actually, we're feeling this anxiousness, this misalignment. And when that slow burn is happening, we've labeled it as boring. But now I know, I've had this in my last relationship, is that I was like, oh, this actually feels so easy. And it's like a love that feels so calm. And that's actually really attractive to me because I enjoy how I feel and I'm no longer like attached to the outcome. It just feels easy. So that's what we want to get our body on board with our subconscious mind, knowing that we are worthy and deserving of the love that we desire and that our body feels calm. So again, our feminine energy is also the subconscious mind. It is the body. Our body will be triggered when something is happening that our subconscious mind is like, oh, that doesn't align. This relationship doesn't align with what we're believing we are worthy and deserving of. So we want to make sure that we can regulate our nervous system and that we can be open then to receiving the relationship and the love that we actually want, not just the one that we say that we want, the one that we actually want to feel. This is why practicing embodiment, practicing calming your nervous system, meditation, literally I work with some clients and we call it exposure therapy. This is why practicing and doing the scary things helps to create this nervous system capacity. I also call it emotional capacity for, okay, this seems scary, but I'm going to expose myself to, talking to these men, and I'm going to show myself that I'm still okay, that, I'm going to let the thoughts run, if they're going to run, but I'm also going to soothe myself and say, I am worthy and deserving of the love that I desire. That, I might think that these men are judging me or, I don't know. Yeah, whatever you think is happening, it's like, oh, wait, that's not actually happening. That's like my monkey brain. That's just like assuming that those things are happening, but it's not like actually true. And what's true for you is actually in your body. And so we want to be focused on what's happening in your body, not focusing on the external, because the external, as we will start to see, is also a masculine energy. It's also a masculine, it is manifested, it is masculine in relation to masculine and feminine because the feminine is your internal world, just as I'm talking about your emotions, your subconscious mind. It's how you feel, it's your nervous system. So, your feminine energy is the unseen realm, it's what we don't see. But again, remember, it's emotion, it's feeling. So, coming to that now, feminine energy is a connection to the 5D. So if you're familiar with like the three-dimensional 3D world, this is our 3D world, things that we can see that are manifested, that is a very masculine energy. It's done, it's created. Feminine energy then is the unseen, it's this emotion, it's this feeling, it's the energy that's always happening, just like the subconscious mind. It's always happening, even if we're not thinking, because it's just running in the background. It's our norm, it's what we're used to, it's always there. So the 5D then is the love, the relationship that you want. It's that energy of love, of adventure, of play, of security, groundedness, like a little like feeling chosen and cherished. That energy, that's a 5D energy. We're connecting to energy rather than connecting to, oh, yeah, that man over there. No, that's 3D. So when we can ignore the 3D and stop saying, my man's not here yet. When is he coming? I wish I had a partner to go out on a date with tonight, or I wish I had someone, to wake up and have coffee with in the morning. Instead of validating and literally repeating what's happening in the 3D, we want to be connecting to the 5D and feeling as if, this is why much of manifestation is acting as if, feeling as if you already have the man. Because then we are connecting to the realm of possibilities. Because everything that we actually want it because we want the feeling of having it. Versus, this is why a lot of people have money, but they're not actually happy. So it's not actually the thing that you want. It's not the man, the money, the car, the house that you want. You want the feeling of it. So when you can connect to the feeling, the relationship, the love that you desire, then you're no longer separate from it because everything has an energetic potential. And you can go watch my video called The Manifestation Equation, more on this, on how to close the gap from where you are to the being the energetic potential that you desire. This is why you have to turn on your energy. This is why we have to have emotional mastery. Emotions are just energy in motion. We need to understand what to do with our energy and our emotions instead of repeating them, which is what's happening on the inside. We're always, we're programmed to repeat. We're creatures of habit. We repeat certain things, but we need to understand that to make a change, we have to do something different. So we change what we're putting the energy and the emotion towards, changing the thoughts and the beliefs that are attached to it so that we can actually have a new result in our 3D. Now, this takes me to our internal world, this 5D that we connect to. 5D is this feeling, it's this energy, okay? It holds the field, it's literally the quantum field of all energetic potential. Our internal world, this feminine side of ourselves, is the cause of the external world, cause and effect. So you have to connect to the 5D, the internal world, the subconscious mind, the emotions, the feeling, to create the external world. So if we're not getting what we want in the external world, then there's something going on inside of us that's blocking it, that's not allowing it, that there's a limiting belief, or there's something that we're not willing to feel. There's something in the way. But the thing is that we have all the energy that we need because energy is neither created nor destroyed. So you have the energy that you need within you to create your external reality, to create the love and the relationships and all the experiences and the money and the travel and everything that you want in your life. You have all of that energy, but it can be stuck in limiting beliefs, in only a willingness to feel a certain point up to a certain point, and then you're going to protect yourself and you're not going to allow yourself into a new experience because you're like, no, 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 like I'm just not, nope, I'm not going to do that. Like a woman the other day was telling me that she doesn't want to date because she wants to protect her peace. Okay, I get that. But the way to protect your peace is to not avoid chaos because she thinks that texting a man and not and having to deal with him not texting back or him being inconsistent or whatever it is, she thinks that those things are going to cause disruption in her life, which they might, but that's good information that she needs. Because again, protecting your peace is not about avoiding the chaos or the confrontation. Protecting your peace comes from not allowing the chaos, even though it's happening, to affect you, and that you can be present and peaceful even amongst the chaos. So instead of avoiding life and staying in your comfort zone, you're allowing yourself to get out of your comfort zone, to have that exposure therapy to the chaos or the confrontation or whatever it is, have that exposure therapy and say, I'm going to be all right no matter what. Like, I don't have to make his actions or his lack of messaging me or his, cancellation. I don't have to make it mean something about me. Because when you're making it mean something about you, that's where that disappointment or that like negative, like triggered energy comes from. When you're like, oh, like now I can't be peaceful. Now I'm all up in my head. Now I'm worried about, what if I never find a man? Like all of that needs to be looked at. All of that is coming up for you to look at to actually alchemize it and empower you versus disempower you. Because if you're stuck in that disappointment and where's the man and monkey brain, you're wasting your energy. All your energy is going there. But where your attention goes, your energy flows. So you'll continue to repeat that pattern if you stay stuck in that energy, in that if you're reacting to that chaos. So you want to understand how your internal world is actually creating the external 3D world. So everything external, again, is already manifested. The connection to your feminine energy is through this healing, regulation, manifestation journey to understand how your emotions work, how your internal world is creating your external reality, connection to your body, connection to the 5D of possibility and the energy that you become before the manifestation appears. And as I said before, the feminine is like the unseen realm. The feminine is a connection to knowing our spiritual selves. And this is why the feminine is rising like for everybody. This is why this is a theme in the collective, is because everybody is now starting to understand that they're an energetic being, that they're, part soul, that they are a spiritual being, God, source, universe, spirit, whatever you want to call it. That unseen, that greater than energy of being a part of something else that we are co-creating with. This is a very feminine aspect. This is our spiritual side of ourselves that we can't turn off. We are always manifesting with this energy because we live in this mirroring universe. And again, everything is created from the inside out because we receive only what we can perceive on the outside. And so we have to change our internal perspective, our thoughts, our beliefs, our emotions. They're all connected to each other. They're all playing off of each other. And so when we can perceive a situation differently, as in this is happening for me rather than happening to me, like why am I the victim? And it's like, no, I'm the creator. This is happening for me because this is actually getting me to the relationship and the love that I desire. Oh, this breakup happened. Excellent. Here's what I'm learning from it. And now I'm going to integrate that lesson and I'm going to go be more magnetic towards the desire relationship that I actually have. So we're always using it as feedback to help us become more of who we're meant to become. We're becoming this more authentic version of ourselves. No more playing by these conditioned rules and limitations that aren't serving us anymore. No longer staying in our comfort zone and playing it safe. It's like, no, I'm allowed to feel things. Oh, and a very feminine aspect is being able to feel and hold sensation. That's creating your emotional capacity. That is like literally toning and like working out your nervous system, allowing yourself to feel that discomfort and not shy away from it. Allowing yourself to be with it. Okay, wow, yeah, I'm feeling this anxiousness and this anxiety. It's telling me something. It's coming up for me to take a look at, to be with, to not be afraid of it, to breathe with it, to alchemize it, to give it new meaning behind it so that I can be a more powerful, high frequency version of myself. And when we become this more high frequency person, we're literally, again, none of our energy is created or destroyed, but we are liberating it from guilt, shame, sadness, fear, things like that. We're liberating that energy so that we literally become more magnetic. This is why feminine magnetism is a thing, is because we literally become more of a match to what we desire when we are alchemizing these emotions within. And so feminine magnetism isn't just a thing for women, it's also very much a thing for men when you can sit with your emotions and understand these emotions. Now, getting to the biological perspective, the reason why feminine energy slightly relates to females is only because of the way that our hormones work. And the same would be said then, I guess, for masculine energy and men, is that a, a woman's nervous system is regulated with the hormone oxytocin. It's like we are what's it called? Our master neuro, I don't forget what it's called. Anyway, oxytocin is our master neuroregulator. That's what it is. And so the more that we are filled with oxytocin, which comes from rest, which comes from pleasure and play, which comes from like feeling love and touch and cuddles. It's the love hormone, a lot of times it's associated with having sex. So when we're filling ourselves with oxytocin, we're actually regulating our nervous system. So doing like when I was skating, for fun, it was filling me with oxytocin. I didn't know I needed that, but I felt the truth of that because it felt so good. I was like, wow, this is the answer. So much so that I was like, I need to teach this to people. Pleasure is the way. It's our master neuroregulator. So, this is why feminine energetic things are actually really important for women because it regulates us. But again, we're working towards being towards inner union. But if you wanted to get analytical with it or whatever, it's like, okay, yeah, it's not a 50-50 masculine feminine. It might be 60-40. It might be 70-30, like whatever. I don't think those things really matter because everybody's going to be a little different and you need to feel what is true for you. So then the same as on the masculine, on the men's side, is that they are regulated more by dopamine, vasopressin, other hormones. And those come from taking action. There's a saying that a mentor of mine used to say is that women feel good to do good, and men do good to feel good. So women feel first in order to do, which would be like aligned action, and men more so do and then feel the reward. They feel good from that. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. It could be something to go by. But I do think that it's just interesting because we are biologically a little bit different. And this is why we would say then, oh, I don't know. We say like men are the leaders. I don't really know about that. I don't really like that terminology. But what I do believe in is that a feminine woman, or just a woman in general, really leads with her desire. Because as a woman, we are connected more so deeply to this quantum field because we have a womb, we have certain hormones that have the ability to create life within us. And that's very different than the biology of a man. And so we benefit from this deep feeling, from this connection to our body, from this pleasure, this oxytocin that gets created. And so we are the womb holders, the creators leading with this desire. And this desire is never ending. And because we're connected to the quantum field, we're always going to be desiring more because we know innately that there is a possibility for more. Yay! It's like the cup can never be full, or you could see it as nothing is ever enough. But it's a beautiful thing because it brings in this never-ending expansion, this never-ending growth, this never-ending becoming. And that's the whole point. As human beings, we're here to expand, to grow, to evolve. And don't let that exhaust you. It's not exhausting because, again, day to day, we're going to be like, yeah, I'm so grateful. Like all of this is like enough. And it's like exciting when it's like, ooh, I just found a new opportunity to kind of switch things up or to change it up or to do something new and seeing it as an opportunity because we're always going to be connected to this desire for more. Now, men are also going to have that too, but I'm just saying, as a woman, we are really connected to this desire. And we, as women, lead with our desire. And I do believe that women should be leading in their relationships as well with desire, voicing their desires. So, so, so important. So that then a man can be like, yeah, babe, I hear that. And like wants to put it into action, takes it and runs with it. And is like, yes, let me fulfill that for you. Feels so good. So the more unapologetic you can be about your desires, the more you'll actually probably get them. Okay. So feminine energy is so much more than looking feminine on the outside. It's not a way that you look whatsoever. It is actually this connection to your spiritual self. It is a connection to something greater than you. And that greater than you-ness, God, source, spirit, universe, whatever you want to call it, also lives within you. And so we access it through our emotions, our subconscious mind. We understand how all of these things are working together and how we are this beautiful human 3D being 5D. Human, physically manifested, being still part of larger consciousness, God's source, spirit. We are two things at once. And this is a big thing about manifesting is that we need to be able to hold two realities at once. We need to be able to hold the reality that we live in now and bring the energy around it to be grateful for it. Abraham Hicks always says something like grateful for what is and eager for more. And that's this, again, this always expandingness, but it's like loving the 3D now, because if you don't love where you're at, it's going to be really hard to get to where you're going because the energy is not matching anyway. You need to be loving where you're at now, validating it, like seeing it as this is working for me. This is like the ultimate stepping stone to exactly where I'm meant to go. I'm loving what I'm learning here now. It's preparing me for the next thing that I'm about to receive. So, loving where you're at now, loving this 3D, but then also being available to create more. So the two realities that we're always holding are the 3D reality here and now and the 5D reality of what it is that you want to manifest, what it is that you desire, and connecting to the 5D reality. See, we're so conditioned to be focused on the 3D reality, but we want to refocus ourselves now to the 5D reality. We need to understand that 3D reality, yep, she's good, she's done and dusted, I see her, but I'm not focused on her. I'm not reacting to the 3D. I'm actually going to act as if I already have what I want because it's not separate from me. It is a part of me and it's becoming into my reality because I'm feeling it in my cause, in my internal world, and it's going to be here before I know it in my 3D. And it is continuing to embody, like in your body, feel in your body the love the joy, the security of the relationship that you want, really feeling your desire, feeling worthy of your desire, connecting to that. I'm worthy of the relationship that I want. I'm worthy of all these high standards that I have. And I'm going to relax in the knowing that I can have that. So always holding these two realities at once, but focusing more so on the 5D reality, focusing on the 5D, being the 5D version of yourself, because that is exactly how you are going to actually manifest exactly what you want into your reality. Faster than you could ever take so much action or go on so many dates or no, we don't need to do that. What's actually more fun on the way is to practice being your 5D version of yourself. Practice loving yourself more, practice loving life more, practice spreading more love, more gratitude to everybody that you encounter, and have fun on the way, knowing that it's already yours, like being Delulu. That's the name of the game. Believing that it's already yours so that you're no longer creating separation. You're not creating separation in your thoughts and your beliefs, your subconscious mind. You're not creating separation from your body where you're protecting yourself from exactly the thing that you want because you're like afraid to receive it and like, what are you going to do with it when it gets here? And no, you're ready for it because you're practicing the feeling in your body so that by the time it gets here, it feels normal. Because that's the whole thing. You want to create the new norm in your body. And that's when you receive it because that's when you can perceive it. When it feels normal, as if, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all today if I met the love of my life. Boom. We have to practice that. So, this is what feminine energy is actually really all about. It's this connection to our spiritual self. It is changing our thoughts, our beliefs, our emotions to be in alignment with the actual desire of the relationship and the love that you want. This is the inner work. This is the emotional mastery, the mindset, the self concept work that needs to be done in order for your inner world to actually match your desire to manifest. This is exactly the work that I help women do. So if you're interested in this work, be sure to find me on Instagram. You can DM me, ask me about what coaching options I have, because this is exactly the work that I have done to see, oh, yes, wow, I did manifest this man into my life. And now, after my last relationship, I feel so worthy, so deserving of the exact relationship that I desire, that I have this utmost belief that by this time next year, I will absolutely be engaged. So, and if not, like the whole point is that I feel excited saying that right now. The whole point is for me to feel good in saying that and for me to continue to say that and have it feel good. This is why it's really good too to have a manifesting bestie because you want to be able to say these things out loud to bring them into your actual reality. So if you're not out here creating content and saying delulu things, get yourself a manifesting bestie or get yourself a coach like myself so that you can talk about your desires, talk about the things that you want and make them normal to you. Make them normal to you or write them down in your journal. That's like an embodiment practice, anything that's using your body. Oh, I used to go on Delulu walks where I would listen to a playlist and it would have like affirmations and things like that. But I would think about the relationship that I desired. And I was like, ooh, yeah, I'm already in it. Da, da, da. And then not long after, I manifested a man. I had a great relationship for a little while. I learned some lessons through that. And now I'm like, oh my God, I'm so grateful for those lessons. I am taking those lessons and alchemizing the crap out of them so that I can receive the man, the love, the relationship that I desire. Okay, my love. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment down below anything that you learned, anything that you were like, ooh, that's an aha moment. I'm so glad I heard that. Would love to hear from you. And as always, you can always DM me on Instagram if you're interested in coaching options. And I will see you in the next video.